every voyage got a skull's good voice. Not every crossing earned the hull's long night. Most voyages were ordinary choice of commerce and necessity and right. The trader who returned with oil and cloth did not receive the verse of the warrior's fame. The fisherman who brought the silver broth of herring to the dock had no great claim. The unsung voyage fed the village through, the ordinary crossing of the true. He made the northern crossing 40 times, the same route through the same gray water's face. No glory in the repetition's rhymes, no saga in the ordinary place. But in those 40 crossings he had learned the water in a way the raider never, who struck and fled and felt the glory burned, could know in the committed and the clever. The unsung sailor knows the water's soul. The repetition makes the knowledge whole. His children knew him as the steady one, who always came back and who always went, who sailed in weather that would keep the fun. Seekers at the dock already spent, not brave in the dramatic public way, but brave in the reliability that kept the family fed through every day. The quiet courage of consistency. The unsung sailor is brave without the haul, the daily courage answering the call. The skald who sang the warlord's silver deeds ate bread that came from the unsung route. The village that the raider's fame still feeds on the supply the trader brought about. The unsung voyage is the infrastructure of the celebrated and the bold. Without the ordinary's architecture, the glory has no platform to be told. The unsung voyage holds the sung one up. The daily crossing fills the glory's cup. Make your unsung voyage with the pride of one who knows what repetition builds. The 41st crossing holds inside the accumulated knowing that it fills. Not every act requires the audience. Not every crossing needs the scout's long night. The quiet work of patient diligence is its own kind of permanent delight. The unsung voyage is the deepest song, the ordinary that carries life along. that hide from sunlight rise at dark. The deep ones moving upward to the cold. The surface of the midnight leaving marks of rings where what the day concealed is bold. He launched his boat into the moonless black and set his nets where daylight never found. He worked by touch and sound, and coming back by the feel of current and the water's sound. The night fisherman catches what the day misses, the truth that only darkness's openness gives. He used no light for fear of spooking what he sought in the darkness of the deep. The lantern that would seem to help the cut of the net would drive away the sought for sleep. He worked in darkness as his father worked, who'd learned from his own father in the black. The art of night fishing never shirked the darkness, but embraced the skill of lack. The night fisherman makes his art from absence. The light removed becomes the presence. The catch of the night fishing was different from what the day nets brought to the harbor dock. The species that the daylight left indifferent to the surface came alive at midnight's clock. The deep fish and the shy and the wary all rose to what the darkness made available. The night fisher's harvest was contrary to expectation and incomparable. The night catches rich with what the day denies, the treasure of the dark below the skies. His wife said she could always tell the night he'd been out on the water from the dawn. He'd move more slowly in the morning light and smell of whatever darkness had to own. He'd tell her things he'd thought in the absolute silence of the ocean in the dark. The thoughts that daylight kept too resolute for speaking, opened by the night's dark. The night fisherman brings back more than fish. The dark's own thinking is his deeper dish. Go out on your own water in the dark. The questions that the daylight's noise conceals rise to the surface after midnight's mark, when the shallow light of busyness congeals. keeps under sun. The night fisherman fishes what the day hides, the truth that in the dark of silence resides. He tried for years to write the secret down, the thing that made his blades unlike the rest. He filled the parchment scroll from town to town with everything he thought he knew was best. The temperature, the folding and the quench, the angle of the hammer and the time. But reading back the pages on the bench, he found the words had lost the knowledge rhyme. The forge master's secret lives in the hands, not in the words, but what the body understands. The knowledge was inside the feel of heat, the color of the iron at the right moment, not the measured temperatures beat, but the particular quality of light. The sound of the metal against the stone, when the hardness had arrived at what was true. The resistance of the edge against the bone, when the sharpness had become complete and through. The forge secret is in the senses, not the page. The knowledge written in the body's age. He tried to teach it with the words he'd failed to write, and found the student still confused, until he stopped the words and simply scaled the teaching to the hands and what they used. He put their hands inside the heat zone range. He made them feel the color through the skin. He showed them how to listen to the strange frequency of iron settling in. The forge master teaches without words. The body learns what explanation blurs. 20 years it took a student to receive the full knowledge that the master held. Not 20 years of learning, but achieve the body becoming what the hands compelled. The knowledge that transferred was not a thing of information passed like cargo in a ship. It was a lived and practiced ring of experience beneath the iron's din. The forge master's gift takes 20 years. The knowledge that the body fully bears. Some knowledge cannot be written or explained. It must be lived inside the doing long. The body's understanding slowly gained through repetition competition, failure and the strong. The Forge Master reminds us what we lose, and when we believe that everything can be compressed to text and given those who choose the shortcut pass, the body's mastery. The forge secret is the gift of time itself, the knowledge that no writing puts on shelf. She was born between two tides on the open sea. The ship still days from any solid shore. The midwife working with the rough and free. Emergency of birth without the more. They said the sea itself received the cry, the waves subsiding at the first new sound, as if the ocean recognized the high note of new life above its rolling ground. The sea child is claimed by the ocean first, before any land can quench her thirst. She never got the land sickness that plagued the others coming off a long voyage home. Her body calibrated and engaged to the motion of the salt and foam. The solid ground confused her first few steps. She'd reach for balance that the ship had given. She'd sway on land the way the sailor steps, uneasy on the earth from sea work driven. The sea child is at home only on water. The land's stillness makes her not the daughter. She learned to sail before she learned to walk, the rigging teaching her the balance first. She spoke the sailor's tongue before the talk of land folk quenched her maritime thirst. Her earliest memory was the wave, the sound of water on the strake at night. The stars from the deck giving her the grave and playful universe of open light. The sea child's first memory is the wave, the cradle of the open and the brave. When she was old and asked what she loved most, she said the moment when the coast goes small, when the land behind becomes a ghost of line on the horizon. That is all. The moment when the world is only sea and sky and the particular direction of the wind, and everything is free of the complications and affection. The sea child loves the moment land is gone, when only ocean and the self sail on. Some people are born to the open water, the land a place they visit and return. The sea child and the sea-born son or daughter paid for what the solid cannot earn. Do not try to root the seaborn to the shore. Do not offer them the harbor's easy stay. The gift you give the ocean-born is more space to go and come and go away. The sea child asks only for the open, the water and the sky and all unspoken. Came to it with what they could not say to any human ear that would remember. They pressed their palms against the bark and lay their heaviest confessions in the ember. The oak received it all without a word, without the judgment of the living face, without the gossip that the village heard. The tree kept every secret in its space. The listening tree holds what no man can bear, the burden of another's kept despair. The lovers came to it before the vow, to speak the things the ceremony could not. The honest fear beneath the public robe of celebration's optimistic knot. The oak received the fear as well as love, the doubt beside the certainty of choice. It held the ambivalence from above, the complicated human voice. The listening tree receives all that is true, not just the beautiful, but the full view. Came before the battle's dawn, to speak what they would not speak in the hall. The fear that underneath the brave was drawn, the love for those they might not see at all. They pressed their foreheads to the ancient bark, and spoke into the wood what could not be, spoken to the face in the pre-dawn dark, the vulnerable beneath the sword's decree. The listening tree holds the warrior's true heart, the fear beneath the courage's fierce art. The tree grew wider every year it held, the confessions and the prayers and fears, as if the weight of what it had compelled to receive had nourished all the years. The rings workings inside would tell the story plain. If someone had the ear to read the wood, each year a layer of the human pain, and joy and doubt and every understood. The listening tree grows fat on human truth. The weight of secrets feeds from root to youth. Find your listening tree in any form, the place that holds what others cannot bear. The journal page, the cliff face in the storm, the empty morning of the answered prayer. The world needs places where the truth can go without the consequence of being heard. The secret voiced becomes the seed to grow into the bearable from the absurd. The listening tree teaches the truth of release. The spoken secret gives the speaker peace. Before the Iron Age, the copper sang its orange red against the furnace flame. The soft metal that the earliest craft rang into the tools that gave the first world name. He worked it in the older way his grandmother had taught him before iron was the thing, the art that predated every other, the mother of the metals offering. The copper worker shapes what preceded steel, the oldest metal of the human deal. The copper held the heat in ways that iron could not. It distributed warmth around. The cooking pot of copper made the fire on the outside reach the center's heartbeat sound. The drinking cup of copper gave the taste, a quality the wood and clay could not. The music of the metal in the haste of daily life, the tang that time forgot. The copper cup carries the taste of time, the metal's own complexity in rhyme. He made the sun discs that the shamans wore, the circular gold-hammered copper bright that caught the solstice at the cliff's own shore and threw the sun's reflection into night. The ceremony needed what he made. The copper had the power to reflect what the sky was offering, displayed back to the gods who sent the light's effect. The copper disc returns the sun's own light, the metal mirror in the solstice rite. He aged the copper in the bog for years to give it the patina of the old. The green and blue, the time's own chemical clears the living surface of what can't be sold. The fresh copper was beautiful and bright, but the aged copper had a different weight. The history of its years beneath the night of the bog water in its oxidate. The aged copper carries time as beauty, the patina of years as the metal's duty. Honor the copper worker's older art, the soft metal that preceded all the hard, the malleable and warm and open heart of the metal that did not need the guard. Before the iron world of edge and war, the copper world of vessels, discs and cups, fed and sheltered and held something more than violence, the warmth that fills and ups. The copper worker made the world before steel. The soft metals, gentler appeal. Said he felt it different in that year. The cold had found a deeper way inside. It settled in the marrow with the clear announcement that it meant to there reside. He did not call it ending or the close. He called it the familiar, cold-grown honest. The winter finally dropping its composed politeness for the absolute and promise. The last winter speaks a different code. The honest freeze that finally takes hold. He said his affairs in the autumn before, without announcement or the family's tears. He simply ordered what had needed more organization through the final years. The tools he passed to those who'd use them right, the knowledge written down in his best hand, the stories told by firelight through each night, the wisdom given freely while he planned. The man who knows his last winter prepares, not from fear, but love for those who'll bear. He kept the humor that had always served. He did not become the solemnity that those who knew him felt they had deserved from one whose time had found proximity. He laughed at the winter's presumption still. He argued with the young about the sea. He drank his mead with the accustomed will of someone not yet ready to agree. The last winter doesn't silence the living. to his chair each day, the body keeping the most careful guard of what small energy remained to say. He used it for the conversations that he'd always meant to have but never pressed. He used it for the honest and the flat, true things that comfort had long since suppressed. The last winter gives the truth at last, the honest things too long held in the past. On the last morning he watched the snow fall slow. He said each flake is just a single thing, but together they make the world below more beautiful than all the fields of spring. He closed his eyes inside the falling white and joined the winter he had known so long. Became the snow that softened every right angle of the world into its song. The last winter takes the warrior into white. The final snow falls soft and still and right. It stood on a ledge no wider than a hand, above a drop that made the watching fear, and looked at us as if it could understand the difference between its world and here. The mountain goat moves on the impossible, the angles that would kill the casual boot. It finds the footholds on the impassable and makes a highway of the vertical route. The mountain goat lives where others dare not stand, the master of the terrain at first hand. Its hooves are split and the edges soft below, the hard outer rim for the crack and grip, the cushion pad for the pressure slow, distribution on the stone's own tip. Evolution gave it what no smith could forge, an iron for the mountain's face, the tool that made the vertical a myth of impossibility into grace. The mountain goat's hoof is perfect engineering, the craft of living on the cliff's own clearing. The hunters who pursued it on the high found themselves in places they had never planned. The goat would lead them to the edge of sky and wait to see if they would understand. The wise ones turned and found another way, the foolish ones pressed on beyond their skill. The mountain mountain goat distinguished every day. The bold from the reckless on the hill. The mountain goat tests the hunters who pursue by showing them where their limits ring true. We watched one cross a face that no man dared, its movement fluid as the waters run, not careful or considered, but declared with the confidence of what had been done. It did not look down at the void below. It did not hesitate or check its step. It simply moved the way the mountains know their own terrain by feel and kept. The mountain goat moves without the fear of heights, because the height itself is home and right. Be the mountain goat on your own steep face, the terrain that others find impossible. Move through your particular vertical space with the fluid grace of the sensible. Not boldness without knowledge of the route, but the mastered skill that makes the heart seem clear. The hoof knowledge earned that gives the absolute confidence to move without the fear. The mountain goat is made by the mountain school. The impossible terrain becomes the rule. It appeared each evening in the western sky, the first bright point before the stars came out. The sailor's friend that would not say goodbye until the morning chased the dark to rout. Not a star at all, but the bright planets, light reflected from the nearer sun. The evening star that grants and never grants forgiveness to the sailor's heading run. The evening star is faithful every night, the first to come and last to leave the light. She was named for it the evening she arrived, when the berth was long and the candle low, and someone looked out at the sky and thrived on what the evening star had come to show. She grew into her name as names will do, the first to rise in any gathering's call, the last to leave when everything was through, the bright point in the darkness of the hall. Evening star was faithful as her name, the first and last of those who always came. The sailors used it for the western course. When sunset had already set the guide, they followed it with the full sailing force of trust in what the evening kept inside. The planet's path was consistent year on year, rising and setting in the known degree. The sailor who had memorized its clear position held the western course in fee. The evening star guides west when all else fails, the bright and faithful light that always sails. On the night of the longest sailing yet, when the crew had lost their bearings in the gray, the clouds had taken every star and set the darkness past the darkness of the day. Then one break opened in the western cloud, and for a moment the bright planet shone, enough to hold the course and stand loud, the bearing against the darkness of the prone. The evening star appears inside the break, the single point of light for the voyage's sake. Find your evening star inside the dark, the one fixed point that does not shift or fail, the faithful light that leaves its western mark when everything around you drops its veil. Not the obvious light of the full day's sun, but the patient one that comes when day is done, that holds its course when certainty is run, and guides you when the other lights are spun. The evening star is faithful beyond sight, the first bright point in every human night.
His father had been troll, or so they said. His mother would not speak of that cold night. He grew too large for houses and the bed, too small for the troll mountains and their height. He lived between the worlds as such things do, too human for the stone and too stone for the human halls that watched him passing through, with eyes that held him at the closing door. The half-troll lives in neither world complete, the threshold creature and the in-between feet. He found his use in what his two halves gave, the strength of the stone blood in the fight, the human understanding of the cave.
could lift what no man could carry through, could smell the troll paths that the human missed, could speak both languages the two worlds knew, could stand in the cold fog that others kissed. The half-troll serves the boundary both worlds made. His double nature is his highest trait. The children who were cruel called him half, the one who had not all of anything. He learned to answer with the patient laugh of those who found the gift that halving brings. He said, I am twice what you are single. I hold two worlds inside one walking frame. My blood does not divide, but weave and mingle. The two become one thing without a name. The half-troll finds the hole inside the half. The double nature is the better staff. When the trolls and the humans came to war, as they did each generation's blood and stone, he walked between them at the battlefield's door, and spoke the tongue that neither owned alone. He was not trusted fully by either side, but both would listen to the half that spoke their language back to them, the double guide who held the key to what the conflict broke. The half-troll ends the war, the pure cannot. He speaks to both sides from the inside spot. Honor those who carry double blood, the ones who cannot claim a single side, who live between the fire and the mud of two traditions held together white. They are the world's most necessary kind, the bridges living in a single skin, the translators of the human mind, who carry both the outside and within. The half-troll is the world's most needed gift, the one who spans the gap and makes the lift. 3 rocks above the waterline at tide, a kelp bed running south below the cliff, the hidden harbor where the ships could hide. was marked on only one surviving skiffs. Odin had found it 30 years before. Running from a fleet he could not fight, he'd slipped between the rocks and found the more. The narrow passage of the saving night. The hidden harbor waits for those who need the refuge that the desperate can reach. He shared the knowledge only with the three he trusted most among the sailing men. He said, "This knowledge is not for the free, broadcast but the gift given now and then to those who needed refuge from the sea, or from the fleets that hunted in the rain." The harbor was the possibility of the life that could begin again. The hidden harbor secret is its power, kept close for those who need the darkest hour. 3 times the secret saved a different ship. 3 times the narrow entrance held the life of those who'd memorized the pilot's grip of tide and rock and season's edge of knife. The 4th time it was Ulf himself who ran into the harbor in his final year. The fleet behind him closing every span, but the rocks received him, holding clear. The hidden harbor saves its own creator. The refuge built becomes the navigator. He died inside the harbor of old age, at peace among the kelp and seabird sound. His passage through the rocks, the final page of the life the hidden water found. The ones who knew the passage came to check and found the ship at anchor, empty still, as if the harbor held him on the deck of something past the body's final will. The hidden harbor holds the one who found it. The refuge and the founder both confound it. Build your hidden harbors through your life. The place is known to only those most trusted, where you can run when chased by public strife, and find the space where you are not adjusted. The friendship that no audience requires, the silence held between 2 knowing minds, the refuge from the ordinary fires of performance that the public life reminds. The hidden harbor is the gift of trust, the refuge from the world's relentless gust. climb the cliff before each weather change, to read the sky the way a skald reads verse. Each cloud formation held within its range, the story of what time would soon disperse. The anvil top that built in afternoon, the mackerel sky that meant the wind would turn, the green light underneath the early moon, the copper horizon that would start to burn. The storm watcher reads what sailors need to know, the language written high where few will go. She learned it from the cliff itself, she said, from standing at the height where sky was close, from years of watching what the sky had bred, in storm and calm, and all that matters most. No teacher but the patient observation, the willingness to stand in wind and rain, to make the cliff a classroom and the station of learning what repeated and what came again. The storm watcher learns from standing in the weather. The sky teaches only those who brave together. 3 days before the worst storm in a decade, she went to every captain in the port. She named the day and what the sky had conveyed, and urged them all to be in harbor's fort. 2 captains laughed and sailed into the grave. One trusted her and stayed beside the dock. The 2 who sailed did not return that day. The one who stayed alive heard how they knocked. The storm watcher earns trust only once. The warning heeded saves, ignored it hunts. She could not always tell the exact hour. The sky gave tendencies, not certainties. She said the sky speaks truth about its power, but not always the minutes, precise degrees. She learned humility from being wrong. The storm that hadn't come when she had said, the calm that broke when she had given song of
The storm watcher knows the limits of her art. The sky is honest but has its own heart. Look upward more than the immediate path. The sky above is telling what is coming. Not just the weather but the aftermath of every choice inside the distant drumming. The clouds of consequence build slowly first. The anvil of the future takes its form before the lightning and the breaking burst. The sky gives warning of the coming storm. The storm watcher's art is anyone's to learn. Look up and watch what patterns clouds return.
Below the Baltic waves, the forest sleeps. 10,000 years beneath the cold gray sea. Its resin still the amber coastline keeps. The light of an extinct world running free. The trees that fell when ice retreated north became the amber beds the shoreline gives. Each piece a window into what came forth before the world became the world that lives. The amber forest glows below the wave. 10,000 years of sunlight saved. She waited in the dawn to find the pieces, the ember floating loose from winter's storm. Each one a golden drop where memory ceases to separate the ancient from the warm. She held one to the rising sun and saw the trapped mosquito in its perfect sleep. A creature living by the same old law of summer that it had before the deep. The amber holds the living in its gold, suspended in the light of days grown old. The smiths who worked it said the amber burned with a different quality than fire had. A sweetness in the smoke that the craft earned, a fragrance that made something ancient glad. They carved it into amulets and rings, into the faces of the gods they knew, into the beads that hung on wedding strings and captured sunlight in the morning dew. The amber carver shape solidified sun. 10,000 seasons pressed into one. The traders who brought amber from the north were carrying more than gemstone and the gold. They brought the preserved memory of
the Ice Age trees had shed. A fragment of the forest long release into the ocean's amber making bed. The amber trade connects to ancient worlds, the living buyer and the fossilized furs. When you hold amber, you hold what time kept, the sun that shone on creatures long since gone. The tree that in its resin slowly wept, the insects of a summer long since done. The amber is the world's own memory, pressed into gold by depth and salt and year. The most material of history, the past made warm, touchable and clear. The amber forest lives in every piece, the ancient light that time could never cease.
In every ceremony there was one whose role was not the singing or the word, but the holding of the silence that was spun around the sacred acts the gods had heard. She stood at the boundary of the sound and held the space that speech would overflow. She was the container of the profound, empty vessel where the gods could go. The keeper of silence holds what words cannot, the space where meaning lives without a thought. The ceremonies needed her as much as they needed the skald's most practiced voice. The silence she maintained had its own touch of sacred in the alternating choice. The word would fill the air and then release into the silence she had kept prepared. The meaning settling into the increase of understanding in the space she'd share. The keeper of silence is the song's own rest, the pause that makes the note more fully blessed. She could silence a room without a word, by entering it with her specific weight. The quality of attention that occurred when she was present in the sacred gate. The arguing would stop, the noise would still, not through authority or rank or fear, but through the genuine and patient will of the one who held the quiet clear. The keeper of silence stills the room by being. Her presence is the quiet's way of freeing. She taught her students that the hardest art
was not the filling, but the holding clear. The empty vessel at the sacred heart required more discipline than the seer. For anyone could fill the space with sound, but to hold the necessary empty, while the world kept pouring noise around, was the discipline more than plenty. The keeper of silence earns the hardest skill, the empty that requires the strongest will. There is a keeper of silence in yourself, the part that knows when not to add the word, when to let the meaning off the shelf of the unspoken be the thing most heard. The silence after grief does more than speech. The pause before the promise carries weight. The quiet after joy is more in reach of the divine than all the words that wait. The keeper of silence in you knows when the sacred needs the empty now and then.
The master gave the first lesson without steel. He had them stand and breathe for half a day. He said, until you know the bodies feel, the sword is just a danger in the way. They stood in the cold rain without complaint, or some complained and he ignored each word. He waited out the impatience and the faint of urgency until the stillness stirred. The sword lesson begins without the sword, in the body's readiness before the word. The second lesson was the footwork's art, the triangle and the circle and the square, the geometry of the fighting heart that placed the body where the blade could care. No sword again, just the empty hand moving through the positions of the fight. The body learning what the mind had planned before the iron was trusted to the right. The sword lesson continues without steel, in the empty hands that learn what's real. The third lesson was the single cut, one motion only practiced 1,000 more. Not the complicated, but the what had to be done perfectly at the core. The master said the fighter who has one perfect movement owns a sword technique. The one with 50 movements poorly done has nothing when the moment is at peak. The sword lesson teaches depth, not breadth. One perfect cut is worth 10,000 deaths.
is the last thing you should have known. For without the body, breath and foot and cut, perfected in the void of empty air, the sword is just the closing of the shut door on the practice done with patient care. The sword is the last lesson of the blade, all else must be learned before it's made. Every art has its own sword, lessons, truth. The instrument comes last, not at the start. The writer learns the body of the proof before the pen becomes the vessel's art. The singer learns the breath before the song. The navigator learns the sea before the ship. The farmer learns the soil before the long season of the planting and the grip. The sword lesson lives in every craft. The instrument comes last, the body first and last.
It started in the peat bog after drought, the deep fire burning underground for weeks. No surface flame to speak of, but throughout the bog the invisible burn seeks. It moved below the surface like a thought that hasn't yet become a spoken word. The wandering fire could not be caught, only followed where the smoke was heard. The wandering fire burns below the sea, the invisible that moves between. The peat cutters who knew the bog its art could follow the fire's course by what they felt. The warmth beneath their feet, the smoke smog that told them where the underground had dealt. They built the fire breaks to direct its path away from the village and the winter storm. They worked with the fire's particular math, not against it as it moved its core. The wandering fire is guided, not fought. It takes the path that least resistance brought. The wandering fire came to mean the soul that could not settle in the usual place. The one who moved from role to role, the restless spirit finding its own grace. Not all are born to stay beside one fire, not all are made for the fixed and the known. The wandering fire's different desire is the life that keeps on moving through the bone. The wandering fire is the roaming heart that burns most bright when given leave to start. She left her third home in as many years.
the village saying she would never stay. She said, I am the wandering fire that clears the path for those who settle in my way. She went ahead to where the new was needed, the first to light the fire in the unmapped place. Her passing was the signal to be heeded, that this land had the warmth and the grace. The wandering fire lights the way for others, the settler follows where the wanderer bothers. If you are the wandering fire inside, do not extinguish yourself in someone's heart that needs the fixed and the permanent kind, rather than the moving fire's worth. The wandering fire has its own role, the path lighter and the first to know, the one who carries the community's soul.
The sea returned the bones of those it took, eventually on the northward tide, and she could read them like an open book, the story of the ending still inside. Not morbid but forensic was her art. The calcium of her life could speak the how, the where, the season, and the final part of what the water's taking would allow. The bone prophet reads the sea's returned gift, each bone a story that the waves can't shift. She told the families what she found in form, not everything, but what would help them grieve. That he had died in calm, not in the storm, that the ending had been swift, not long to heave. Sometimes she could not say anything kind, the bones held only silence and the salt. In those cases she would tell the mind, the merciful, the sea keeps its own vault. The bone prophet tells what she can tell, and keeps silent what the bone holds in its shell. She also read the bones of those long dead, the ancient burials the storms uncovered. She pieced together from the calcium thread the lives that centuries had smothered. She gave them back their particular humanity, the child whose bones showed years of hard labor.
repeated until she was no safer. The bone prophet speaks for those long silent, and gives the ancient dead a voice defiant. The children of the village watched her work with a mix of fascination and of dread. They could not turn away and would not shirk the instruction of what lives the bones had led. She taught them that the body was a record, that everything experienced left its mark, that the mineral of living was a word written in the calcium of the dark. The bone prophet teaches the body's book. The life is written in the places you look. Your bones are writing your life as you live it. The stress and the relief and the repair. The choice is that the calcium will give it back to those who later find you there. The heavy labor or the easy grace, the violence endured or the peace, the years of hunger written on the face of every tooth and knuckles decrease. The bone prophet reminds the living truth. Your body holds the record of your youth.
A summer when the sun stayed long, when the fishing ran so full the nets were torn, when the harvest was so good and strong that the elders said such years are rarely born. The village shone that summer like a mead. The children grew an inch beyond their years. The old disputes dissolved without their need, and something lifted from the daily fears. The golden summer comes once in a life, and shows what living is without the strife. The raids that summer were the most successful. The weather favored every course we steered. The trade was rich and everyone was full of the confidence that prosperous years had cleared. The young men and the young women together in the long evenings of the endless light found love more easily than other weather had ever let them find in the shorter night. The golden summer gives the heart its spring, the opening before the closing ring. The it all with knowing eyes. They did not dampen what the summer gave. But in the autumn, when the first chill lies, they took aside the young and said, "Be brave." They said, "Remember this when winter comes, not as a torture of comparison, but as the proof that underneath the drums of the hard years, the golden ones are born." The elders store the golden summer's gift against the winter as a spirit's live. 20 years on the ones who'd been the young. That summer gathered at the autumn fire. They told their children what the summer sung, the year that had been more than they require. They were the elders now with knowing eyes. They watched their children in the long evening and smiled at what they recognized with rise of gratitude for the cycles, believing the golden summer returns through memory and lives in those who carry its glory. There will be golden summers in your life, seasons when the world aligns to give more than the ordinary and the strife, more than the usual measure of to live. When they arrive, receive them fully in. Do not protect yourself from what is good. Do not already mourn what will be thin. When winter comes, be where the golden stood. The golden summer asks only one thing, that you be present for the gift it brings. She claimed that every stone had its own note. The granite's deep baritone bass and full, the limestone softer and more hollow throat, the obsidian sharp and singing pull. She'd strike them with a smaller piece of stone and listen to the resonance each gave. She'd hold them to her ear when she was alone and hear the longer sound inside the cave. The stone singer hears what no one else detects, the music in the rock that earth protects. She built a circle of the singing stones, each one placed by its particular note. The scale complete from the deep bass's bones to the high obsidian's glass throat. On the right nights with the right wind through, the circle would perform without a hand. The air itself would find the pitches true and make the stone circle understand. The stone circle sings when the wind is right, the geological music of at a frequency that matched the stone that held the note that would not shirk the specific vibration that was latched. She'd hold the singing stone against the body where the pain or illness had its seat. The resonance of the geological body would meet the body's own discordant beat. The stone singer heals through frequency. The rock's vibration meets the body's plea. The children who grew up beside her work developed ears for what the stones could give. They learned to hear what ordinary folk had always walked past in their everyday life. They heard the river's different songs each spring as the melt changed the pitch of every stone. They heard the cliff face when the wind would sing through its particular geological bone. The stone singer's children hear the world sing the geological music of everything. The world is full of music past our ears. The frequency's too low and too high both, that have been playing since before the years of human memory and human oath. The stone beneath your feet is singing now. The frequency too deep for human range. The mountains have their own perpetual vow of resonance, continuous and strange. The stone singer listens to what was before. The world's own music at its ancient core. Each night the fairy comes without a sound to carry the exhausted into sleep. The ferryman has never yet been found, wanting for the passenger to keep. He does not charge in silver for the trip. His payment is the willingness to go, the release of the day's long anxious grip, the letting of the waking self flow slow. The dream ferry takes those who let it come. The ones who cannot let go find it numb. The warriors who had fought too hard to sleep, who lay awake with what the battle left, were those the ferry could not reach the deep of rest. They watched the shore and felt bereft. The shaman gave them herbs and words and more. the techniques of the willing surrender, the practice of releasing from the shore. The day's remaining grip, however tender, the dream fairy waits for those who let go. It cannot dock where grip will not let go. On certain nights the crossing brought the dead, the ones who lived in memory and dream. They came aboard the ferry and they said the things the waking day could not redeem. The father who had never found the words in life would speak them in the dream fairy's hold. A friend whose death had left unfinished words would finally say what silence kept in cold. The dream fairy carries what daylight cannot, the conversations waking life has forgot. The children were the easiest passengers. They fell asleep before the ferry docked. Already halfway there, the messengers of pure surrender never worried blocked. We watched them slip into the dream world fast, and envied what the years had taken slow. The easy letting go that could not last, past childhood into the adult's hard woe. The child sleeps what the warrior struggles through. The letting go is hardest for the true. Trust the dream fairy when it comes each night. Do not hold the shore of the waking's grip. The other shore is not without the light. It is the necessary deeper trip. The sleep is not the enemy of life. It is the half of it that heals the day. The dream fairy carries through the strife of consciousness to where the dreaming lay. The dream fairy returns you every dawn, renewed for what the waking world has drawn. He carved it on thin slates of pale gray stone, not for any other eyes to read. The daily reckoning he carved alone, the honest measure of his word and deed. He asked himself each night before the fire 3 questions carved in the accounting slate. What did I do well today entire? What failed? What will I differently create? The iron diary asked the hard accounting, the daily reckoning beyond all mounting. The victories he noted without pride, the sword work done with accuracy and speed, the shield hold that had kept the line inside, the choice to rest when rest was what the need. The failures came more easily to the slate. The moment when the temper broke too soon. The argument that didn't need to wait. The small unkindness in the afternoon. The Iron Diary holds the warrior honest. The private page where self meets the promise. He showed it to no one for 30 years. The slates accumulating in a chest. The small carved record of his daily fears and daily triumphs. What he held as best. When he was dying, he called his eldest and showed him what the chest contained entire. He said, "This is what made me at my best." The daily reckoning beside the fire. The Iron Diary is the life made clear. The honest man's accounting through each year. The eldest read through 30 years of slate and found his father in a way no story, no saga told it made available, great or flawed or daily in its human glory. He found the night the father had been weak, had drunk too much and struck the stable boy. He found the morning after, when the sleek remorse had carved itself without a ploy. The Iron Diary shows the father whole, the daily human underneath the roll. Keep your Iron Diary in whatever form, the slate of honest self-accounting each evening before the fire's comfortable warm, warm morning before the day comes into reach. Ask the three questions without mercy, false. What served well, what failed, what will you change? The daily reckoning through life's long waltz is what keeps pride from the unchecked range. The Iron Diary is the warrior's best blade. The edge kept sharp on the daily trade. Her mother had married the sea itself and walked into the waves one autumn tide. She'd left the boots beside the narrow shelf of shore and disappeared inside the wide. The daughter grew up knowing both were true. The mother's stories and the mother's end, that the sea had been the other through. All years the spouse, the landlocked, could not tend. The salt wife's daughter inherits the bond. The ocean marriage deeper than beyond. She did not hate the sea for what it took. She could not hate what was her mother's choice. The willing walking in without a book.
apology, the free and certain voice. Instead she went each morning to the shore and spoke to what her mother had become. She felt the listening in the waves and more, the warmth inside the water's rolling drum. The daughter speaks to mother in the tide, the conversation that the sea can't hide. She had her mother's gift of reading waves, the knowing that the salt-born always carry the understanding of the ocean saves, and what it takes and where the currents tarry. The fishermen would seek her at the dawn before they took their boats to the wide grey. She'd taste the air and look at what was drawn in cloud and current and confirm or say. The salt wife's daughter reads what her mother taught. The ocean's voice in every wave and froth. She fell in love with a man from inland hills who'd never seen the sea before that year. She watched him discover what the water fills a soul with when it first becomes clear. He stood beside the shore with open mouth and felt the smallness that the ocean gives. She took his hand and pointed him towards south, where the water met the sky in what lives. The salt wife's daughter gives the sea to him, the inheritance passed beyond the brim. Their children grew up with a double gift, the mountain and the ocean in their blood, the height and depth, the storm and the swift current of the sea and mountain's flood. She told them of the grandmother who walked into the tide and never quite came back. She told it not as tragedy, but talked of the completion of the water's track. The salt wife's daughter gives her children both the sea and stone as their double oath.
The seal watches from the harbor rocks each dawn, its dark eyes following the fishing boats. It seems to know what is and what has gone, and what the sea and morning light promotes. It lives in both the water and the land, complete in neither, comfortable in both. The creature that has never took a stand for one world over the other's oath. The harbor seal belongs to neither shore, and so belongs to both forevermore. fishermen who gave the seals their scraps were buying something older than a deal. A friendship at the edge of the maps, where human and the animal could feel. The seal that returned each morning to the boat was not a pet but a particular grace. The daily visitor who chose to note this boat among all boats as the right place. The seal chooses its companions with care and honors those who give it a daily share. They said the Selkie was the seal become, a woman when the moon was full and bright, who danced upon the shore and beat the drum of her double nature in the night. The ones who stole her sealskin held her land, bound against her will and her own deep water. She'd smile and serve and offer up her hand, but always mourn the ocean's moving daughter. The Selkie story warns of taking love that held by force is not what gods approve. We saw our own nature in the seal, the creature caught between two elements, completely at home in neither, yet the real. Expert of the boundaries, intelligence. We live between the fire and the frost, between the known and the uncharted sea, between the safe and what might well be lost in the pursuing of the fully free. The harbor seal is the Viking spirit guide, the one who lives along the threshold tide. Watch the harbor seal when decisions loom. It slides between the water and the stone. It does not choose between the air and womb of ocean. It inhabits both as own. Some questions do not need a single side. Some beings are most themselves at the between. The threshold creature and the boundary guide are the wisest teachers of what both worlds mean. The harbor seal says, live the boundary's grace. The richest life is found in the in-between space. Deeper in the mountain than the grave, beyond where any torch had ever reached. The paintings on the wall of the oldest cave were what the pre-rune hand had always preached. The elk wren read across the stone above. The handprint pressed in ochre said, I was here. The ceremony of the ancient love between the human and the world's frontier. The painted cave is older than all names. It holds the first of human art's great claims. No rune master could read what was painted there. The symbols predated every form they knew. The language of the image stripped all bare of the codified and went straight through. We stood inside the cave and felt the weight of all the humans who had stood the same, each generation adding to the great continuum of the art without a name. The painted cave speaks past all written word in the universal language that is heard. The children who were brought inside to see went quiet in the way that children rarely do. Something in the paintings made them free of the ordinary noise they always knew. They reached toward the painted elk and deer, as if the ancient hands had painted them, a bridge across 10,000 years of sheer time, the touch point and the requiem. The painted cave joins the child to the ancient. The reaching hand connects through time's patient. Who painted them and what they meant to say has been discussed and argued without end. But the paintings need no scholarly display. They speak directly as they've always penned. The beauty of the elk needs no translation. The human handprint needs no footnotes weight. The art of the cave is its own narration, complete and whole and true and intimate. The painted cave says what all art has said. I lived here and I was moved by what I led. Leave your own mark before the darkness comes. Not painted ochre on the cave wall stone, but something that says underneath the drums of the ordinary, I was here and known. The mark need not be grand or permanent. It need not last 1,000 years of stone. The gesture given freely and congruent with who you are is all that must be shown. The handprint in the cave says I was here, and that is all that any life need clear. Before the battle, the wind would change its tone, a different frequency than any storm, as if the air itself had always known what was about to happen in the form. The old warriors called it the Iron Wind, the breath of what was coming, charged and full. The atmosphere before the violence thinned up. The normal day into the battle's pull. The iron wind announces what must come. The charged air before the war drums drum. Some said it was the gods themselves who breathed this particular air before the clash. That Odin's ravens had their wings bequeathed the iron frequency before the crash. Some said it was the bodies of the men, already knowing what the next hours held. The fierce sweat and the focus meeting then in the collective breath that armies felt. The iron wind is made of mortal fear and mortal courage mixed into the clear. She felt it on the shore when ships appeared, not trading vessels but the warship's line. The air had changed an hour before they neared. She'd moved the children to the trees in time. She could not explain it to the Jarl who asked how she had known before the watch had seen. She said the wind had told her, overtasked with what the iron in the air had been. The iron wind warns those who learn to feel the charge of violence before it's real. After the battle, the iron wind would go, replaced by something exhausted and raw. The air released from its compressed below, the stillness of the aftermath's hard draw. The birds would return to the trees within the hour. The ordinary sounds of a world restore, as if the iron wind had spent its power and given what the violence had explored. The iron wind departs when battle's done. The ordinary air returns with sun. Learn to feel the iron in the air, not just the war wind, but in every room. The charge before the argument laid bare, the pressure building toward the coming boom. The iron wind blows in the household too, the silence charge before the breaking word. The atmosphere that tells the body true what the mind is not yet fully heard. The iron wind speaks before the iron strikes, and those who feel it early choose their lives. He was not the warrior kind of man, No sword in hand and no ambition's fire, but he held something in his quiet plan that every village needed to acquire. He walked the boundary between the quick and dead with an ease that others shunned. He sat beside the dying, not the sick, and helped them find the doorway that had stunned. The shepherd of souls walks where no one goes, the edge between the living and what flows. He learned the prayers that opened up the gate, not through any formal training's art, but through sitting with the dying state, until the knowledge lived inside his heart. He knew the moment when the breathing changed, the shift that came before the final still. He'd take the hand of those who were estranged from life and hold them past the body's will. The shepherd feels the soul's departure time and holds the gate to make the crossing prime. The families brought him gifts for every death. He took them without pride or false refusal, for the work of holding someone's final breath was worth the silver and its careful use. He used the gifts to feed the village poor, the ones who had no family at the end. He sat beside the doorless and the doorless dying who had lost their final friend. The shepherd serves the dying without class. The rich and poor alike must through him pass. Some said his presence at the bedside drew the death closer with his knowing air, that the shepherd was the omen people knew before the family had grown aware. He smiled at this and said, I do not call the death that comes regardless of my place. I only make the crossing past the fall a little less alone, a little grace. The shepherd of souls is not the death, he is the company inside the breath. When he grew old and felt his own tide turn, he trained a young woman in the art. He said, sit with them, do not flee or burn with urgency, just open up your heart. The dying do not need your words or skill, they need the presence of a steady soul who will not flinch or flee at what they spill of fear and love before they reach the goal. The shepherd's greatest gift is staying near, beside the dying, without any fear. lightning strike too close along the rail. The world went white and then entirely clear of everything but darkness and the gale. They thought his sailing days were at an end, that the helmsman's art required the eye. But he had learned the ocean round each bend, through senses deeper than the visual sky. The blind navigator reads the sea by touch, and finds the darkness does not take that much. He felt the current through the steering oar, the subtle shift of pressure in the wood. He tasted salt and knew its shore was upwind by what the flavor could. He heard the wave break, change its frequency against the unseen coastline drawing near. He felt the air grow warm with the decency of land that blocked the ocean's colder sheer. The blind navigator sails by smell and sound, and finds the course that sighted men have found. The crew were nervous in the first few months. They whispered at the sightless helmsman's back. They wondered at the quietly absorbed stunts of steering blind along the northern track. But voyage by voyage, the confidence grew that what he lacked inside he filled elsewhere. That the sea spoke to him in something new beyond the visual, in water and in air. The blind helmsman earns trust, voyage by voyage, each crossing adding to the courage of the sage. He said losing sight had given him the deep reading of the ocean that the sighted missed. The ones who saw the surface in their sleep had never learned what lay beneath the mist. He felt the underwater mountains pull through the variation of the current's run. He sensed the depth by what the wave was full of information lost beneath the sun. The blind navigator knows more than he sees. The depth the sighted eye can never seize. When you lose a sense you thought essential, know the others deepen in its place. What seems like loss may be the credential for finding a more honest human grace. The blind navigator teaches this above all, that what we lean on most may block the more. That sometimes the apparent greatest fall is the
the opening of the unexplored shore. The lost sight gives the deeper ocean's gift. The blind man's sea is broader and more swift.